Hello guys and welcome back to the Zone Podcast, and we are talking about
Pretty much everything today.
everything.
A lot of subjects to talk about.
Before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe and give us a follow on our socials as well, because we're posting very much daily on TikTok.
We've got a lot of stuff on TikTok at the moment. A lot of our news and stuff comes in there, so we've got a lot of stuff on there. But I think we should start off with what I seen on Instagram. It was the summer signings 11. Have you got that up?
Sky Sports summer signing 11.
I think genuinely it was just absolutely.
I thought it was funny the
This
guy
is clearly a Spurs fan.
Yeah, like Chelsea and Spurs. I thought there were going to be. There's 4 Spurs players in the list,
Which is hilarious because
so
Spurs are having a hoonie of a season.
Bern Leno on goal, which I could give them. But there's another one who'd be in front. But Perisic at left back, Koulibaly and Sev Botman at centre halves, Jed Spence at right back.
Has he actually started?
I don't even think he's played, you know.
I know.
Coutinho, Basuna and Eriksson, and then Sterling, Nunes, Richarlison is there.
Did Nuri sign this? I'm pretty sure Nuri signed this season in the summer.
You should sign him.
I'd love him.
You should sign him.
He's
He's class.
last night against Hughes.
Yeah.
He looked unbelievable.
He's
And
class.
I've said it for ages. I
Yeah.
said it in my player of the season for each team
Yeah.
on TikTok. It was for Wolves. For me, it was Neves because one, he stepped into centre back when they had like thin numbers because one of them got a 3-game suspension
Yeah.
and 2 of them were injured, so he had to play centre back. And then they also let Conor Cody go on loan to another club that was fighting in a relegation
That was
battle.
bizarre, that.
And also, he's got 4 assists and 4 goals.
Yeah.
8 goal contributions from a deep line playmaker position
Yeah.
when they're in a relegation scrap is key.
Yeah.
But
Neves' consistency across the board
Yeah.
is just unreal.
and then also, Nuri was it's a very progressive player. The second he gets the ball, you saw him against Hughes last night. All he wants to do is absolutely bomb it forward.
Yeah.
And I feel like Locatelli's a manager that could start to turn this team around, and I personally believe he is. He's putting in some good performances.
But it's
so
the same
far.
with Unai Emery going in a Villa as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same situation.
Did you actually see the stat for them too?
First managers to compete against each other in La Liga and Premier League
In the same season.
in the same season.
That's weird. That.
But yeah,
It was only like 4 months apart as well.
I don't know. So Bernd Leno in goal. I mean, to be fair, he has been incredible at Fulham, but the best goalkeeper someone signing's Nick Pope.
Most clean sheets in the league.
It's obvious, but credit to Bernd Leno at Fulham though, because Fulham are 8th in the league.
Or
They're playing really well. Yeah, but I'm saying credit to Fulham.
Yeah, credit to Fulham, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying Bernd Leno has played well,
Yeah.
but Nick Pope's doing better.
I understand Botman. I don't understand
Koulibaly.
because Chelsea are struggling, one, to minimise.
Was this done in August?
Surely not. When's it done? When does it say on there?
It doesn't say. Was this done in the summer, like after the summer transfer window was done? Because surely it hasn't been done now.
If it's been done now, that's obscene.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely it hasn't been done now. I'm going to assume this was their predicted
Best team.
Yeah. But Botman would obviously make that
Easily.
alongside Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah, where's Martinez?
He was just knocked for his height.
Yeah. In that, what's his name, that Morley guy or whatever. That, Irish Stars fan.
Yeah.
He's just like, he apologised on the live last night or something like that. He's just like, I apologise for saying that Martinez is too small.
I mean, I said on my TikTok the other day, he's just like Mascherano.
Yeah. He's a banger. Right, anyway, let's move on to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Who else have we got?
We've got Jed Spence and Perisic at full back. Which I'm trying to think of.
I mean, I'd say Nuri left wing back, personally.
If he did officially sign.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was this summer, but if it was this summer, I'd go with Nuri.
Yeah. I don't know what other full backs have been.
Zinchenko's played well at Arsenal.
Yeah. Obviously, he had a spell on the sidelines as well, but
yeah, but all in all, I'd say he's played pretty well at
he
left back.
has done. I don't know what other fullbacks have been signed.
I mean, I know Cucurella, but I mean, I don't think he's
Brighton signed
too
a
impressive.
Cucurella replacement from Villarreal. Espinal.
Or Spinani, or
Yeah.
whatever his name is. Yeah,
Left
he's
back.
been quite good. So
He's been decent. So, but then Perisic has been consistent at Spurs. It's just Spurs
have been crap.
have been very poor. Yeah, and then at right back, slight technical issue, but we're back, and the Sky Sports team had Perisic at left back.
I mean, I'd probably say, as we've been saying, Aït-Nouri's probably better.
Aït-Nouri,
If he signed, but then if not, Espinani or whatever.
But then you've got Malacia signed for Man U as well.
Yeah.
And he's been
very
good.
I'd go with Malacia,
And
but
then,
if not, I'd rather have Aït-Nouri in there.
And then at right back, they've got Jed Spence, who hasn't featured
at
all. And I'm trying to rag my brain of...
Why wouldn't Jed Spence play last night against Portsmouth?
Yeah.
Like, what? Why did Tottenham have to field their best team to even get past Portsmouth?
They only beat them 1-0, and they only had one shot on target from 18 shots.
Yeah.
And that
just
was
shows
goal.
how poor they are.
Yeah. I can't think of right backs who have signed.
Neither can I.
But one that I will put in there is Manuel Akanji, who signed for City.
Yeah, he can
natural centre back, but has played loads at right back.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he's been really good.
I would say it's been pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, City's defence has been, though, because Pep Guardiola being the tinker man he is, and in the transitioning of where his defenders are literally playing.
I feel like they never really have a consistent back four, though, City. So I think that's what's their downfall this season, and the reason why they've lost, I think it's 2 or 3 games this season.
Barring John Stones.
I mean, yeah, John Stones,
the game being incredible.
But I'd just say that there's been that chop and change and so much in the back four that I think there's not a lot of consistency there, and that's probably why they're not top. And like, you can't have someone that's scoring 21 goals in the first half of the season and only being in second place.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the Haaland signings knocked their playing style. I think Haaland has well and truly been signed for them to try and push for the Champions League. To be the clutch goal scorer.
I think City is still playing in a similar way in terms of getting the ball into the box.
Yeah.
But it's just they hitting the crosses earlier instead of taking the time a lot more.
Yeah.
They still are taking the time in certain circumstances, but when there's an early cross that can be hit, they actually have someone they can aim at now. Instead, when they were hitting that early cross, they were shooting at someone like Gundogan, who's a false 9.
Yeah.
Or Raheem Sterling, that isn't a out and out striker.
Yeah.
So that's why they got rid of Sterling.
Anyway.
And brought in Haaland.
Midfield 3, Coutinho, Basuna and Eriksen. I'll give them Eriksen.
Yeah.
I'd give them that. Casemiro. Easy one.
Yeah.
And then one more. Which
I'm trying to
think of.
I'm genuinely trying to. I was about to say, well, why is Bruno not in there? But he signed in the January transfer window.
Yeah, he did. Who else has been summer transfer midfielder signings? Because we could go Matthias Nunes for Wolves.
Yeah, I mean,
he's looked decent, but then again, Wolves are second bottom of the league. Exactly. Same with Lucas Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta's been good for West Ham.
It's been okay.
Yeah, but West Ham haven't been good.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Obviously, Spurs signed Basuna, but Spurs haven't been
incredible.
Anything
I was about
flash.
to say, is anyone that Liverpool signed but you haven't signed a centre mid for 4.5 years?
Yeah, we grabbed Arthur Melo on loan.
I mean,
on the last day of the transfer window, and
Vitinha from Fulham, Palinha.
Palinha,
That's
yeah.
That's the one. That's the name I was trying to rack around.
Palinha, yeah. Vitinha signed for PSG.
That's
yeah.
He's Portuguese as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Portuguese.
That's why I was getting this around.
Palinha, yeah, for Fulham, he's been a revelation in their midfield.
So I'd say Palinha.
Yeah.
But so midfield 3: Casemiro, Eriksen, and Palinha.
Yeah. To be fair.
Front 3.
Front 3 was Nunes, Sterling, and who was the next
Haaland.
one? Richarlison, Nunes, Sterling.
So Haaland's not in there.
Haaland wasn't in there, so Haaland's obviously in there.
Take Richarlison out.
Like,
I would let you have Nunes. And when I've been watching the past, I'd say 4 or 5 Liverpool games, right?
yeah.
He is a dangerous player, yes. But whenever I see him in front of goal, there's a thing inside me that just is like...
Do you know what
I'm
it is?
okay
The
with
mad
this.
thing with Nunes, obviously you saw his goal last night, was an incredible finish.
Oh, yeah.
Is if he's got time in front of goal, he squanders it.
Yeah.
But if it's a snapshot, he'll score it.
Yeah.
Like, he panics himself when he's got too much time, but when he has to take it first time, snapshot, he'll score.
You saw it against... Who did you play before Wolves? He's lost. It was Brentford. And he was in on goal, and he just had that drill shot. He tried to drill it bottom left-hand corner.
And he just dragged it.
Dragged it way wide. And he had about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. But then, when a ball's coming over his shoulder on the volley, and he side-footed with his weakest foot, and it goes bottom bins, you're like, this guy's got a bit. And then he does that against Brentford.
He is a dangerous player. And I can completely see the player that he can be. He can be a 20-plus goal a season striker.
Yeah, he can. But I was watching some Portuguese TikToker who's a Benfica fan. He said in the first season that Nunes was there.
Was it Castro?
No, it wasn't Castro. I can't remember who it was.
Skills.
He scored 6 goals and got like 4 assists, and he was awful.
Yeah.
Second season, he scored like 29 goals.
Yeah, it was 89 skills.
Yeah.
Because he was like there's reserve strikers that I would have rather had on the pitch.
Yeah.
He kept on saying like he had pace, he had everything, but he just couldn't score to save his life.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, I would do anything to get him out of my team in that first season.
You've then got Gabriel Jesus,
Nunes
and
Haaland.
They're the best.
I'm trying to think of anyone else outside of those 3 that we've mentioned that have just signed the season and playing incredibly well.
This one for the midfield that I want to mention that I'm going to make a TikTok about. I'm going to make a TikTok about all Premier League teams and their best summer signings. But Zakaria for Chelsea in midfield.
Has he played much?
He hasn't played much. This is why I haven't mentioned him before. But before the break, he played a couple of games. And then after the break, he's played a couple of games. And if you watch the Chelsea City game the other day, he played incredible. And whenever he does play, he plays really well.
So is this...
But he's only on loan.
Yeah, so is this a sort of Chelsea need to...
Sign him. Yeah, because Zakaria and Kovacic, I think, are a very good pair in midfield together.
Yeah.
What other forward signings that have been good this season? Fitting through. Obviously, Man U signed Anthony on a very, very hiked fee. You signed Isaac on a hiked fee as well.
I mean, Isaac played last night and he was really our only bright spark, apart from maybe Matt Ritchie before he got halved. And, I mean, Jacob Murphy was absolutely awful. Please leave. Can the Newcastle owners just buy him out of his contract or something by now? Because he is just god-awful. And if that's what we're constantly relying on, I am just worried.
West Ham signed Skamaka, which
I wouldn't say he's had a great season.
No, he hasn't. But it could be that fitting process.
I mean,
I've said this before. West Ham should be a lot higher in the league than they are because they were playing well, signed really good players. I mean, I can list off the players that West Ham signed in the summer. They signed Argard, which granted he was injured, went to Morocco for the World Cup, played incredible. Ariola should start over Fabianski any day of the week. Yeah. They signed someone called Flynn Downs from Swansea, who keeps playing, I don't know why. Skamaka, Maxwell Cornet is unfortunately been injured. Tilo Kehrer from PSG, Emerson from Chelsea, the left back, and Lucas Paqueta.
And they signed... Oh no, they didn't. I was about to say.
So, their signings are class and they should be doing a lot better than they are.
That's a bit of an overhaul, that.
It is.
And I think that's went under the radar slightly.
But I think that was to do with them obviously being in Europe this season as well.
Yeah.
That they needed to sign some form of strength. Anyway,
moving on.
Sky Sports is awful 11.
Talking about sort of transfers and a person that's got a lot of influence in transfers, Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
But also a man that's got a lot of influence on players and in the new wave of managers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see how much of an impact he's genuinely having on the modern day football, and he's still, let's be honest, he's still a young manager.
Yeah, he's still doing it himself.
He ain't old. He's still got a long time in his career. If you go off longevity of some managers, Sir Alex Ferguson, Roy Hodgson, some very old managers in the game. You don't have to be young to be a manager. But Arteta, Arsenal, top of the league, Premier League.
Yeah.
Ten Hag, he's got a 72 or 75% win percentage with Manchester United, and it's the highest.
I think it might be more than that. I think it might be like 78.
So he has I'm pretty sure he has had the highest win percentage of any manager coming into the Premier League in the first. I think it was like he's still played. First half of the season. Yeah, and Burnley with Vincent Kompany.
Yeah.
And this one other one that I'm trying to think of that's on the top was Xavi.
Yeah, Xavi.
Who's currently top the La Liga as well.
Yeah, but we are experiencing a new wave of managers at the minute as well, because obviously you've got Michael Carrick doing really well with Berra in the Championship. Obviously you've got Kompany, Arteta. Then if you look across in Germany with Julian Nagelsmann at Bayern Munich, he's a very up and coming manager as well. Xabi Alonso is now coaching.
Yeah, you've got this new wave coming
through. Patrick Vieira at Palace. It's quite exciting for.
I saw a post on Sky the other day, and it was a poll to see if Patrick Vieira should be sacked or not.
What?
Yeah, he's won 1-6 in his last 6 games, and.
But what do you want him to do with a Palace side? Let's be honest, barring finishing mid-table.
Yeah.
And having a half decent cup run, what do you want him to do with Palace?
If I'm being honest, Palace. Maybe he's not man for man, most players are better than Newcastle players.
Palace are 11th in the league. Well, sorry, 12th, joint on point with the 11th with the game in hand. So
I'm just saying with the caliber of players they've got, I think they should be higher than they are. I think they should be doing better. I think they should be.
But I've said this before. I think
they've got a better team than Brighton. They've got a better team than us.
The Premier League's as tough as it's ever been now, because if you look at bottom of the league, so you've got Southampton, but Wolves, Everton, where do they expect to be? Mid-table. West Ham expect to be pushing Europe. Bournemouth, fair enough, relegation. Forest just come up. Leeds expecting to be mid-table. Leicester expecting to be mid-table. Palace. So literally, barring like a couple of teams in the Premier League now, they are all expecting to finish around the 11th mark. 11th upwards, between 11th and 8th.
And not everyone
can finish there.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant for the Premier League, because you've got this consistency of
competitive.
Yeah. But then it's bad for managers as well, because you're always the first one to get sacked and blamed. It's not the players. You can't guarantee finishing in that position. Fair enough, you should be finishing there.
Yeah.
But like the quality of teams, I mean, obviously Fulham are up in 7th, Brighton 8th, Brentford 9th, Villa 11th. They've all got quality sides.
And on Southampton, they have just signed Orsic.
Yeah.
They're really lacking in creativity and goals, and we've seen against Premier League teams already. I'm pretty sure he's played against West Ham and Spurs. He scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
He scored a hat-trick against Spurs.
Yeah.
And he scored an absolute worldie against...
Spursy thing.
Yeah, he scored an absolute worldie against West Ham.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a quality player. I think he's a player that is very clinical, and I think it's a player that they need.
I think he'll tear up the Championship next season.
Yeah. He's 30-year-old though,
yeah.
Which is an issue, because that's.
But then again,
to be fair, they need someone for now. They need someone that's going to come in. They need someone that's going to score goals.
Well, that's the thing
they need someone that's going to push them up the pitch.
Southampton made a lot of summer signings, and they were all young and players to develop, and majority came from Man City.
Yeah.
So yes, they're planning for the future in that half, but they need someone experienced who can sit the ball in the back of the net, essentially.
I think they need someone to sit next to Salisu as well. That's a lot more sturdy. I feel like he's a bit like
Why they got rid of
catchy at times.
Vestergaard in the summer, didn't they?
Where
To
did he
Leicester.
go? Leicester?
Yeah.
Is he injured?
He just doesn't play. He played the other night in the FA Cup. But
He's a
he just
quality
doesn't
centre-back.
play. Yeah, it was. But like obviously we had the whole ring round of average defenders moving around in the Premier League because obviously
Ben Mee went to Brentford.
Ben Mee went to Brentford,
Right,
Conor
from
Cody
Burton.
went to Everton. You had Bednarek left as well because he wanted to move back closer to home, and you had what's his face moved as well. The lad who moved, Vestergaard. Like you just had a bunch of centre asses
Moving
around to these.
The thing is that I thought Vestergaard was a good centre back. I thought he was
wasn't too bad.
very solid. He screams Brentford for me. He screams Brentford.
On centre backs, have you seen Atletico Madrid is trying to sign Soyuncu from Leicester
Yeah,
in January, which is just
I feel like he's.
bizarre to me.
Is he even playing at the moment with Leicester? Is he not injured?
I
He's
don't even,
he's been
but the
injured for
thing
half
is,
the season.
like Leicester haven't had a centre back partnership since like Wes Morgan and fucking Huth. Yeah, like they have not had. It's always Daniel Amati or Wilfred Ndidi or someone always
Yeah.
filling in at centre back.
And we really exploited that when we played against them.
Yeah, but everyone should target that against
Yeah.
Leicester though, because they never play with a full defence because they don't have one
Yeah.
and haven't done for a while.
I mean, on sort of players that they need to bring in, we've got quite a lot of free transfers and quite a lot of quality free transfers as well. There's two in there that I can think of the top of my head for centre backs.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that Leicester be able to bring these two players in because they are high reputation centre backs of Steve De Vrij and
I mean, to be fair though,
Skriniar.
if you look further down the list
mhm.
of free transfers, because obviously I spoke about it on TikTok the other day, you've got Chris Smalling's contracts up at Roma
That'll be a
in the summer,
quality
which
signing
he's
for
33,
Leicester.
but like he can drop straight into the side now. Then you've
Give
got
them one season. Put him on a 1 year contract at
Jason
Leicester.
Denayer as well. He was at Lyon, then he left and he went to some, I don't know if it was like Turkey or
I
whatever.
was just I thought
But
he went to Besiktas or something like that.
I'm not sure. But he's only 27.
Yeah.
He's free in the summer. I'm
Whatever happened to
I'm-
Jason Denayer?
going to butcher this centre back's name from Valencia, but Diakabi,
Diakabi. Is that what? Yeah, Diakabi.
26,
Yeah,
free
no,
transfer.
I mean,
You know what I mean? If you look through the free transfer market, I don't know why people don't do it enough. Look through the free transfer market and you'll find some absolutely...
I don't see why scouts themselves don't just go, you know what, let's have a look at the
Well,
transfer
let's
market.
not go on to transfer market on Google and go, right, who can we sign?
free? Because there's sometimes I just don't think they even
I mean,
register
I'm not
that in
gonna
their heads.
like Reece Nelson. You could get him on free, and I'm a real big fan of Reece Nelson for Arsenal.
Yeah.
The winger. He literally played.
Is he not Brighton on loan?
No, because he played a game before the World Cup break, and he scored twice,
Yeah.
and then he just gets left out the
It's
side.
because Saka was injured.
Yeah, and then you've got the likes of Danny Ceballos. You can grab him on a free in the summer. He's 26. John Joe Shelby you can leave on a free in the summer.
He can leave. Yes, he can leave.
But then you go even better up the list.
And talking about Newcastle, there's a player on that list that I would love to have at Newcastle.
Who's that?
Thuram.
Yeah.
I would love to have him. And
He's only 25 as well.
Uh,
He's got a market valuation
he
of
is.
32 million.
we could offer 10 million now. Just
Yeah.
offer 10 million, see what happens. 12
Yeah.
million. I'd pay 12 million for Thuram.
Right.
But he's probably the striker that I thought either Man U, maybe it's Arsenal. They're looking at Mudryk. Why not have a look at Thuram as well?
I don't know what... Arsenal looking at Mudryk is a weird one because they've tried this expensive signing before in Nicolas Pepe.
I don't think it's the same signing though. I think personally, it's Sir Alex Ferguson said this before. Sign players when you're at your best, not when you're obviously when you're at your worst. Yeah, sign them. But the best time to sign quality players is when you are at your best.
Yeah.
Because then that pushes the competition even further.
Yeah.
It goes, right, okay, they're either not satisfied, but that's not really the word I'm looking for, but it making sure complacency doesn't set in as well, and they're like, they're not sure if I'm like their number one choice. I need to push it. I need to play even better. Like, what else have I got to do to be even better? And people strive for that.
I mean, one thing Man U, obviously, because they're looking for a striker, is Lyon's Moussa Dembele. Can leave on a free in the summer as well.
He is a pretty clinical striker. I think that, again, screams a bit of like a Leicester move for me, but they also have that Daka. So, and I mean, Jamie Vardy's getting on.
But if we can list some of these off, so Milan Skriniar is deep under contract negotiations with Inter Milan.
Yeah.
But PSG are desperate to sign him.
Yeah.
Then you've got Messi, who's set to sign a 2-year contract extension at PSG.
I think that'll happen.
So, that'll happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. Yuri Tielemans, who's still only 25, he can move on a free, which if he doesn't get signed in January, he's leaving on a free. Easy.
I'd like to have him at Newcastle.
Do you know what it is? I'm looking through this list, and because I think you could do with a midfield signing.
And I'd
or
like
two.
We need a winger. So Thuram is got to be number
there's
one.
There's a few wingers on this list, but there's a few midfielders on this list that would be good for you. Jorginho is obviously heavily linked to moving to use this transfer window, and he can leave on a free. Karim Benzema, the current Ballon d'Or winner, obviously he'll sign a new contract at Real Madrid.
Maybe have like a 1 or 2 year contract there.
Yeah, Wilfred Zaha can leave on a free.
How old is he?
30.
30.
But he screams stay in a Palace.
Yeah.
Because I think if anybody...
maybe he's two final years at Newcastle.
If anybody's going to sign anybody from Palace, it should be Eze or Elisa.
I mean, I would like... but the thing is, though, with Eze, no one plays 4-2-3-1 anymore apart from Man U.
Yeah. Fair dues. Do you know what? You want a winger? Do you know who you should sign? Trossard. You get him on a free in the summer.
He's a better backup than Jacob Murphy.
He's 28.
I'd take
He's got a hat-trick at Anfield.
I'd take him as a backup.
Thomas Lemar. Atletico Madrid.
He is a massive ego, though.
Well, I mean, his career fell off under Simeone, like a lot of players. Still only 27. N'Golo Kante, which I think he'll leave.
I think he'll probably got Al Nassr.
I have no idea where he's going to go. I'm not going to lie. That Kamada from Frankfurt, who played well at the World Cup. Yusufa Moukoko, highly rated Dortmund youngster.
He's out of contract.
He's out of contract in the summer.
Jesus Christ.
Dortmund is desperate to get him on a new one, which doesn't surprise us because he's quality.
It feels like only a few years ago, he's 15. Well, it would have been only a few years ago.
Yeah.
He's 15-year-old scoring like 20 goals like in the youth teams and that. Well, 20 plus.
Yeah, Bobby Firmino is out of contract in the summer, but looking likely he'll get a new contract, which frustrates me a little bit. But anyway,
where would Bobby Firmino go if he didn't sign an
Al Nassr want to sign him, and everybody else, because Al Nassr want to sign. They've offered Luka Modric a contract. They want to sign Eden Hazard. They've signed Ronaldo.
They're interested in Kante.
They're interested in Kante. I mean, they've already got Abubakar, which apparently they've got rid of his contract, terminated his contract. So because of Ronaldo.
Oh, we're not seeing that because he's number 7.
No, that was someone else. That was some other Donny.
Really?
It was because Abubakar started as a striker for Al Nassr. Where's Ronaldo going to start as a striker? So instead of pairing them up or having competition for players, Abubakar's apparently, it hasn't come out as definite true, but apparently he's had his contract terminated to bring in Ronaldo.
Do you know what, right?
David Ospina's their goalkeeper, you know.
Is it?
And do you remember Talisca?
Yeah,
Talisca plays for them.
Yeah.
It's mental.
But wait, so Ronaldo's just left a trail of absolute destruction at every club that he's been at for the past 3.
Also, the waiver in the marriage law as well, because obviously him and Jorginho aren't married, but they can live together.
So he went to Juve. They scrapped their style of play to fit Ronaldo. They're now struggling to fight for top 4. They went to Manchester United. They sold Dan James so Cavani could have the number 7 shirt, and now Cavani's gone as well.
So Cavani could have the number 21 and Ronaldo could have the number 7.
Yeah, and he's just leaving a trail of absolute destruction to every.
Is it
Well, in terms of trail of destruction, Man U are now better off without him.
just a trail of ego?
Yeah, and a trail of problems, a trail of limelight, a trail of.
On Man U, have you seen what Ten Hag want to bring in and the board want to bring in? A salary cap of 200 grand.
Which I think would.
So if David De Gea wants to sign a new contract, because obviously he's a free agent,
300 grand.
He has to drop like 100.
But he's on 500.
Oh, he's on 500, not is he?
He's on 525 grand a week.
So he has to drop £300,000 a week of wages.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, is he worth £500,000 a week?
No.
He was, yes, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Not now.
No.
And if I was Manchester United, I'd either go, you can have this 150 grand a week contract, or you can go out the door, because we're going to replace you anyway.
He's not going to go anywhere though. Like he's not going to go to Sevilla. A big club.
Probably go Sevilla.
Yeah, there's no big club that's going to come in for him.
I'd say go Sevilla, or maybe he's Atletico Bilbao. He's Spanish.
Yeah, but Bilbao only sign people from their region of Bilbao.
Their region. Oh,
yeah, like their team is literally just people from the Bilbao region.
Where is De Gea from?
Madrid.
Is he actually?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, free transfers. So Lima from RB Leipzig, the centre mid, he looks set to sign for Bayern Munich, which, surprise, surprise. Ilkay Gundogan's out of contract as well, which I said last year that I said Gundogan and Bernardo Silva will leave in the summer and City will sign Bellingham. If that comes through, Adrian Rabiot, you can sign him on a free.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Riyad Mahrez and him getting older, I think they might look to keep Bernardo Silva for another year.
Yeah.
Until they find, because on the market right now, there's no winger that fits Pep Guardiola's sort of ethos better than Bernardo Silva for me.
Yeah.
There's no right winger in world football for me that's going to run as much as Bernardo Silva runs and has as much quality.
But Bernardo Silva plays everywhere though. The other night against Chelsea, he played CDM alongside Rodri, which is just mental.
For me, he's one of the most versatile players in world football right now.
I mean, I said this last season when did Salah win Player of the Year last season?
Yeah,
I said Bernardo Silva should have won it.
Ball knowledge Player of the Year is Bernardo Silva.
He doesn't get enough credit.
Average TV watcher.
Yeah. Marco Asensio can leave on a free.
Where would Marco Asensio go? That again screams Sevilla for me. But to be fair, Sevilla are getting relegated, so
yeah.
Who does it scream? Because it doesn't.
Al Nassr.
Well, you're not wrong actually. I could probably see that coming.
I think he should realistically sign a new contract, but it depends if Real Madrid want to offer him one.
I mean, they're going through a new wave of youngsters now. They've signed that. Obviously, we talked about it on the last podcast.
Hendrick. We did. Yeah. 16-year-old for 75 million.
And no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
Nobody is talking about it. I don't know why.
It's stupid.
Everyone was slewing the Anthony money, right?
Yeah.
But Anthony genuinely showed skill and quality and in Ajax, right? In a more respected league. I don't know what league. He's probably in the Ligue do Brazil or whatever the hell it's called.
He's in the Brazilian league, but he's only played 6 months of football.
So they paid £70 million for someone that has played for 6 months in the Brazilian league.
It's 16 years old.
I'm not being funny, but how is that not being talked about?
Yeah.
Because that's not, drop 20 million on a youngster and let him out on loan 2 years so he'll come back to our club. 70 million. That's some team's full transfer window.
Yeah. Naby Keita can leave on a free. Go. Obviously, one that you wanted to talk about, Houssem Aouar can leave on a free. He's 24. I previously said that Hughes should sign him in the January transfer window.
I now disagree. I said yes, I would have snapped him up, but he has changed his nationality to Algerian. And no, that's not a racist comment towards Algerians. It's because the AFCON is played during the December months when people Premier League teams need depth and they need squad rotation. And that's not a time where we can let these African players go out and we're like, right, okay, where's our centre mids gone?
Yeah.
We need if he was French, yes, I'd sign him. But now that he's changed his nationality to Algerian, we can't lose him in the most important period of the Premier League. When you've got all these FA Cup and League Cup games and the league games.
You should sign Mahmoud Dahoud from Dortmund on a free.
No. He's like 28, 29.
He's 27.
But
prime years.
No.
Do you know what? There's so much quality going on a free. Like reading through this list,
yes, he is good, but
incredible.
at the same time, I think we need to be signing someone that's 22, 23-year-old that is already playing at a good level, but has a lot to improve on. And Jude Bellingham can come and slot right into the midfield. I mean, realistically, if we get Champions League football, I don't see why he wouldn't want to move. If we go, right, we're going to sign Thuram and 2 other strikers that are going to be there for you. You got Bruno Guimaraes and Jolton, who are 2 absolutely unbelievable midfielders.
For yous, I think...
yes, our depth isn't that great.
Yeah.
But with if we sign him, then that pushes Sean Longstaff to the bench. And
yous will get European football, no matter if that's Champions League, Conference League, Europa League. Yous will get some form of European football, which means yous are going to need strength and depth. So if you sign, I don't know, in the summer and this window combined, 2 midfielders... Mm-hmm. Two forwards, one that can play as a striker and out wide, and one who's just an out and out winger, and then a left back, an actual left back instead of Dan Burn's been great. Don't get me wrong, but a left back, and then do you have a cover right back or not for trips?
Yeah. What's it's right in the tip of my tongue. He's wow. He played extremely well when Trippier got injured, when he had his broken foot. Oh wow. Completely gone on my head.
Anyway, so
begins with the S. Shaw.
Fabian Shaw?
No, it's no.
I was gonna say.
No, it's he's Scandinavian. Go to our team. Scandinavian. Kraft, that's the one. Didn't make it. Kraft or whatever, isn't it? He played
Emil Kraft. He's Swedish.
Yeah.
You've got Manquillo.
I knew he was. Yeah, Manquillo played all right last night. I'm just being honest. He played all right last night. But if we're pushing.
But we're talking about quality.
See, I think Kraft played incredibly well, and like if you watched us last season, at the end of last season when Trippier got injured, like. We're all just like, oh God, like he was our main man. We're gonna miss him. Like we're gonna miss that leadership. We're gonna miss that quality that he's got. We're gonna miss that sort of calmness that he brings to us that we never had before or for a very long time. It was normally just erratic under Lascelles' captainship, and it was a bit erratic last night when he was playing.
Yeah. I think it's good to do with getting rid of some dead wood around the place.
Jacob Murphy
in the summer. Matt Ritchie.
He plays for the badge. I don't care what anyone says. He plays for the badge.
But anyway, I think you should sign 2 forwards, one that can cover striker and play as a winger, and then 2 midfielders and a left back. That's across this transfer window and the next one.
Yeah, no, I think at least 1 centre mid.
Yeah.
1 defender, 2 attackers. So I'd say Remy's bringing an attacker and a midfielder in January.
Yeah.
And bring a Thuram in now.
Yeah.
And bring someone that can
he screams use, I'm not gonna lie.
He looks like a great signing.
He literally screams Newcastle.
I'd love Thuram at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think that's a big name signing. I think he's quite underrated, but you saw when he was at France, he just looks like a big powerful striker that wants to drive. And I'd love to, you know who I'd love to sign at Newcastle?
Well,
Rafael Leao.
Yeah. Do you know who I think you should potentially sign as well? Moussa Diaby from Leverkusen. He's
very injury prone though. And with a team like we've got with Isaac, who's injury prone, I don't want another attacking forward that we spend big money on.
But then again, you're going to need a left winger, don't you? So, but then again, Thuram's a left winger, come striker, isn't he? So
Maxi, left winger, injury prone. Moussa Diaby, that'll come in injury prone, and like we can't have another French left winger that's injury prone. We can't just keep on signing these left French wingers that are all brittle.
Yous are literally Wolves' Portugal version of Newcastle France.
Well, that we were years ago when we had Moussa Sissoko, Yohan Kabay.
Cisse was of French origin.
Yeah,
and so was Bar.
Well, you could play French, but
yeah, they were French origin.
But they were African.
They were African. They were French origin.
Well, 90% of the French team are African origin, so
yeah, that's very.
But we
true
also had
well.
the centre backs as well. Who did we have? We had Debussy right back.
Yeah,
he was an incredible right back. I'm telling you that now.
Would you want to sign Memphis Depay?
Right, we've talked about this on the last podcast, but for the transfer fee and that, for me, yes, it sounds great, but he is a big ego.
Yeah,
and him coming to us, and him looking at us right now. Not a lot of attacking options for him to compete against.
Yeah.
He would feel a sense of entitlement. Yes, I have to start every single game. And yes, you are great at Depay. Yes, you would be fantastic. But he's been at Manchester United. He's been at Lyon and played incredibly well. He's been at Barcelona and played well. And then if he then came to Newcastle United, and it's not as big, yes, but like he'd just walk all over us.
But Newcastle are on the same amount of club size as Lyon, really.
But they had European football.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. The stature of Lyon is bigger, but at the same time not as big.
Yeah.
Like they get European football pretty much every single season, but they can play at a higher level than us. So you would feel that sense of entitlement. But he was the main man at Lyon. Let's not forget. And that's that talent in the game in his head that I've got to be first on the team sheet.
Yeah, but that's where he plays his best football, when a team relies on him.
But we don't want to rely on this one player. We're not that team anymore, and that's not how you win games. When you rely on one player, you've got to play as 11 men. Like I said in the last podcast, this is why Ronaldo isn't regarded or wanted across Europe.
Yeah, you could have Ronaldo next summer.
That's been falsified, actually.
Has it?
And I'd rather have Jacob Murphy start up front than have Ronaldo start up front. I'm saying that now on this podcast. I'd rather have Jacob Murphy starting central striker than have Ronaldo at Newcastle United.
Yeah.
Would you want Ronaldo at Liverpool?
No.
Exactly.
Why would I want Ronaldo at Liverpool?
But I'm just saying. I'd say Jacob Murphy has as much to his game right now as Ronaldo has.
Yeah.
Because at least Jacob Murphy can run. Ronaldo doesn't run.
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about Ronaldo and teams that he's played at, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They last night, or not last night, it might have been the night before.
No, it was last night.
I think it might have been last night.
Yeah, it was last night.
But they started without a Spanish player in their starting 11. And that is the first time in the club's history, in 4,436 games, 121-year history, where a Spanish national player has not started in the first 11.
That's mad, that. And they got beat as well.
Exactly.
They got beat 2-1.
If there's ever a conspiracy for Real Madrid, don't ever start without a Spanish player ever again.
To be fair, on Real Madrid, do you know how I've predicted for a very, 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 very long time that Zinedine Zidane would be the next France manager?
Mm-hmm.
Didier Deschamps has just signed a new contract till 2026.
Wow. That's your prediction.
I know, I've predicted that for like 3 years. And
if I'm being honest, I would have agreed with you. I thought Didier Deschamps, especially crashing out in the World Cup final like that. And let's just be honest, the first 67 to 70, whenever Mbappe scored his first goal, France weren't in that game at all.
Yeah, they weren't.
It was men against boys for the first 75 minutes. It was. And Mbappe just went, you know what? I'll score a penalty and then I'll score a wonder goal to get us back in the game.
But that just takes me to Zidane before the World Cup. He said that my next job is sooner than you think.
Exactly.
And then I was just like, yeah, I'm right here. 100%. My 3-year prediction of Zidane next France coach is going to be right. Nope. What do you reckon he's off to Al Nassr to manage Ronaldo? You know what I mean?
Al Nassr Champions League winners.
Do you know what I've seen now? commentators and people on Instagram and TikTok and stuff watching all the Al Nassr games and doing like tactical breakdowns of their training and all that sort of stuff. I was like, oh, come off it, man.
Right, on Al
Come
Nassr.
off it.
On Al Nassr, are they in the Asian Champions League sort of?
Yeah.
Do we see a Saudi break off from Asia into Europe and then Saudi in the European Champions League?
Do you know what it is, right? The whole Ronaldo signing is really, really good for Al Nassr. It's really, really good for Saudi Arabia. And to be fair, it's really, really good for Ronaldo.
It brings football to Saudi Arabia.
It brings football, it brings eyes. But at the end of the day, Al Nassr will make their money back on Ronaldo's contract through shirt sales, sponsorships, viewerships,
Exactly.
all this sort of stuff. So like the money, yes, it's absolutely insane. His contract of 200 million.
But let's be honest, they've got that money in his pocket.
They've got that money to spend, but they'll also make it back.
Did you know that they were the same owners as Newcastle United?
Yeah. That's where that whole rumour of if you get Champions League, Ronaldo can sign for you and all that.
I would be. You know what? I'd chain myself to Newcastle United's stadium and be like, Ronaldo, you're not coming through these doors, mate. You are not putting that black and white shit on. You are not desecrating this shit.
Do you see Al Nassr's rivals? Made Messi 10 shirts in the club.
How are they even
allowed? And they were selling them in the club store.
How are they allowed that?
I don't even know, but that is mental.
Is it not the same owners as PSG?
I don't know.
I reckon there's ties.
Right, there's going to be ties anywhere in Middle East, isn't there?
I reckon. Well, there'll be a Saudi investment group. They're
all wrapped up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I want a Saudi investment group. If they're giving them out, I'll have one.
They can come sponsor the Zone Podcast.
Yeah. There was a rumour that, like, because obviously FSG put our club up for sale.
Yeah.
The Saudi investment group and a Qatari investment group both wanted to buy us. So they were like, instead of hiking up the price, we'll go into a joint bid and buy the club together. I was just like, come on, do it.
And then Saudi.
And then FSG turn around and go, oh, we're interested in a joint sale. And then that just spoiled life. Because no one wants to buy part of a club.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a club, you want to buy the club for yourself. You don't want to have a part sit.
These Saudis don't want to share nothing with
America.
So,
especially
FSG, in the current world,
leave, please. And let's bring in the Saudis and the Qataris at the same time.
Do you know what I found so funny the other day? There were so many memes about it as well. The Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher thing on the owners. And
Jamie Carragher said.
So defensive. Gary Neville just made a good comment. He was just like, you all you got to do is you've just got to get the right owners in.
Yeah.
And so they can invest smartly in the next coming transfer windows. And they can back Klopp. He said the correct thing. And what Carragher has been saying for years now, they need owners that are going to back Klopp.
Yeah.
And then Carragher goes around me, hang on a second.
We don't need new owners.
New owners? Wait, we don't need new owners.
What?
Your club is your club owners have just put your club up for sale. And he's just said, just get the right owners in. Yes, because it was at the same ground, Brentford, when Gary Neville last went on the rant about Manchester United and the owners. Doesn't mean he's ranting about your owners. No, he's just saying and giving a good comment on.
We need new owners. Let's be real. We need new owners. If we want to continue to compete at the top of English football and world football, we need to spend the same money and bring in the same calibre of players as everyone else.
And you can clearly see the landslide that's coming your way.
Yeah.
That is, you haven't had a good amount of investment for a long time.
I mean, if you look at our squad, the amount of players that have left and the amount of players that have come in over recent years is stupid. And the stat the other day of we haven't signed a midfielder for 4.5 years. Because let's be honest, we're not going to class Arthur Melo because he's played 13 minutes of football. And we signed him on a deadline day loan deal from Juve. So
isn't there like an option in there to buy for like 70 million?
Yeah, there's an option there to buy. I don't know if it's 70 million, but we've already said that we're not paying that. And we're not buying him because he hasn't played.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is? When he first came, he worked so hard to get himself fit because bear in mind, he was injured throughout Juve's pre-season, so he didn't have a pre-season.
Yeah.
He worked so hard to get fit, was playing under 23 games when he wasn't asked to, all this sort of stuff. And then played 13 minutes of professional football for us, got injured, and then that's it. But he's still at the club. Like,
is he injured currently? Or?
Yeah, he's injured currently. His passion and desire was there because he knows fine well it's his last chance at a big club.
Yeah.
Because flopped at Barca.
Would I say flopped at
Well,
Barca?
I was just about to go back on myself there.
I thought he was playing well at Barca.
Yeah, he was, but Barca just didn't. Barca
don't really like Brazilian players, I'm telling you that now.
But that was Barca under Bartomeu, which Bartomeu was the most stupid president of all time.
Right, so Dani Alves got harshly treated at the end of his tenure at Barcelona when he left the first time, and also
the second time
as well. Neymar was apparently poorly treated around the camp as well.
Yeah.
Arthur, poorly treated. Apparently Ronaldinho was frowned upon as well, but I mean, he had the party lifestyle, and you can clearly see people weren't too happy with that sort of way.
Yeah.
So is there a vendetta against Brazilian players that come into
I don't know. They've had that many of them.
Yeah. But anyway,
I think Neymar's was majority to do with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever watched the documentary about Neymar on Netflix?
I haven't. Watch it? No, I haven't.
I watched that. That was such an eye opener into Neymar that like.
I've heard things on
his dad is literally set up so many businesses. Neymar's very much that Brazilian Ronaldinho who just wants to enjoy his football, smile on his face, have a kick about with his friends, and go home and play PlayStation. Like, that's all he wants to do, and then it's his dad who's just like, oh, we've got this deal, we've got this, I'm going to set up this, that, and the other. Or
like completely
PSG want to buy for 222 million, but I want to stay and play at Barcelona. No, you're leaving and go to PSG.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But any major other topic conversations?
I would say that's about it.
Cody Gakpo made his debut yesterday.
It was alright.
Showed sparks, was decent.
I mean, it says much when Darwin Núñez had a better game than you.
But we need
midfielders.
But core of our team song. But that's a whole other.
I'll say that wraps up today's podcast.
It certainly does. Like, comment, and subscribe, please.
Hopefully, we'll be getting a guest on soon.
Yeah.
But other than that, thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
Goodbye.